have to repair your own credit. The best way to repair your own credit, unless you're a person who has identity theft, who's a victim of identity theft, the best way to improve your credit is obviously pay your bills on time, pay down on your debt, and limit applying for credit. So if you don't have sufficient credit history, or you have borrowed up to the maximum on every credit that you have, so the best way to improve the score is obviously to pay down on your debt. So if you pay down on your debt and then pay on time, so I doubt that you have paying late kind of problem, but if you, for some reason you were paying late, and if you start paying on time, or even call the creditors, that it was a mistake, you didn't mean to pay late, but you didn't realize, maybe they can work out with you to improve that late payment on your credit. How do you track your own credit? Annualcreditreport.com is a very good website, and you can get your credit score from 3 different major credit bureaus. So Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the most commonly used credit bureaus. And it's usually best to get your credit report from the 3 of them because most likely they will show the same accounts, but sometimes the way they're calculating your credit score is different. So I always get my score from 3 of them, and I see different numbers. So your creditor may be using, maybe you're applying for an auto loan and they are using TransUnion rather than Equifax and Experian. So you will know why one is different than the other. There are 3 other websites that I provided. I believe myfico.com could be with a fee. It gives you with other services as well, like credit protection or credit alerts. I checked this yesterday, and it's asking different services, and it comes with a fee. But the other 2 does come free. So, but I personally go to annualcreditreport.com to check my credit and my credit score. So if you're worried about identity theft or other people using your credit, you can put a monthly, you can select a monthly credit monitoring service. All of these 3 credit bureaus provide that. Of course, it comes with a fee. Your bank could be providing this kind of service as well. So if you have a relationship with the bank, and because you're a customer with them, maybe they will have some type of credit monitoring service for free because you are a customer. So if there's ever a dispute on your credit, how to fix this is basically you need to initiate first an online application to dispute any errors that you may have on your credit. If you see multiple things, maybe it's best to tackle them once at a time, and then definitely I tell this to the students when it comes to student loans. Any communication, any paperwork that you have with your student loans, now I know everything is electronic and a lot of things are online, but you can maybe have an online folder that you keep your things in. So I would keep any kind of communication, the dates, the times that you spoke with people when you're working on, disputing anything you have, so you can have a history of what you have done. It's estimated that recovering from identity theft takes about 6 months, almost 200 hours of your personal time to dispute and recover from this. And if you suspect that there's fraud, somebody is using your account or your social, definitely file a report with the police, contact the police so they can have an official record of your dispute. Take control of your credit card. So if you're only paying the minimum, sorry for the shifted slide again, my iPad does that. So if you are only paying the minimum payment on your credit card, that means you're not managing your finances well. So the signs that you could be in trouble, if you're heavily relying on credit, or you are paying even the necessities like food, the utilities, the basics with your credit card because you couldn't manage your finances well and you don't have enough cash to pay them, cash, so you're charging everything. or you're constantly transferring your credit card balances from one credit card to another because now the new credit card offers you a cheaper interest rate, or sometimes they have introductory 0%, let's say for 6 months or 1 year. So let's say you have a credit card with 10% interest rate. So now there's this new card that's offering you 0% for 1 year. So it makes sense to transfer that to the other card. Hopefully there's no processing fee, because if there's a processing fee, that's a cost to you as well. So then you transfer to the new card, and it only works if you are disciplined enough to pay off the existing credit card balance with the 0% within the time frame that you have. So if you're going to transfer the balance to the new card, and then the balance is not paid in full by the time 0% is no longer available, and then you also built new balance in the other card, then you're obviously doing something wrong. So it is smart if you're going to take advantage of the introductory 0%, hopefully with no fees, but it is not smart if you're constantly creating new debt for yourself. If you're asking for increase on credit limits, now increasing your credit limit can work to your benefit if you're going to increase your credit limit but not actually use it, because then it will lower the amount owed on the credit cards, right? So if you owe $300 on a $1,000 credit card and you get an increase to $1,500, so the percentage of money that you're owing on that credit card will go down. So it will actually improve your credit. But if you're increasing your limit with the intention of borrowing more, and you actually borrow even more, now your $300 balance went to $1,500 because you got a credit limit increase, that will have a negative impact on your credit. So you're doing a disservice to yourself. If you don't have any cushion for unexpected expenses in your budget, that is also a sign that you may not be doing so well financially. And definitely making only minimum payments will cost you so much money over the long run. Many years ago, I think because everybody was struggling with debt, so there was a law that came into effect that now all your credit card statements shows, if you only pay the minimum payment, how much it will cost you additional to pay over time. So it gives you extremely a different amount if you only make the minimum payment, and how long it takes you to pay off on that card. So that's like alarming when you look at it. So it's advised that, to pay definitely more than the minimum. But you can see that if you have a credit card, you can see that in your statement and pay more than the minimum. Obviously, I doubt that anybody will be ignoring their credit card statements, but if you don't make payments or make payments late, it will adversely affect your credit. And definitely do not max out on all of your credit cards. So fixing the problem, I would say for students, definitely set up a budget. When you have the presentation, this is a link for a budget worksheet, so you can create on your own budget, or it could be as simple as working with an Excel spreadsheet. Over the years, I have sat with many medical students who came to my office, and we sat down and we created on an Excel spreadsheet their academic budget for the year for fall and spring. You can do that yourself on an Excel spreadsheet and see if you're the kind of person who needs to pay more than the minimum on your credit card, but currently you can't afford to do so. You can see what expenses you can cut down and maybe create some additional funds for you to make additional payments on the credit card. You really do not need multiple cards to build your credit. I would get either 1 or 2 cards. That has the best benefits. So having 10 cards or having 2 good cards doesn't make a difference. I would actually not want having so many different cards. Pay attention to the store cards, because store cards usually have higher interest rates. So you may get better interest if you are a member of maybe a local credit union, or if the bank that your parents work with and now you're working with them as well as a customer, maybe they offer a better credit card with better interest. So I would check those before trying to build your credit with a store card. Store cards could be as high as 25 to 30%. So definitely check your credit score. Now that you know, annualcreditreport.com, check your credit score, make a habit of checking your credit score and credit history every year, and contact the creditors if you're having any difficulty with your payments. I doubt that it's happening with you guys, but if anybody is having difficulty, you can definitely contact the lender and definitely check on that late payment reporting, or if for some reason you're experiencing any kind of financial difficulty, see that what they can offer you. Maybe they'll just let you pay even less than the minimum payment for a while. I know so many creditors are working with the borrowers right now because of the COVID-19 related issues. God forbid if somebody lost their job, so on and so forth. But it may not really apply to this group yet. So.